And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for joining us. In case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you, and I mean everything that affects you. We'll do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, taxes, tariffs, corruption, scams, shams, your credit cards. We'll do that every now and then. And whatever matters, whatever counts, especially the interlopers, and we'll get into some interlopers today. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, listen carefully. I will post it at GaryK.com. You can get it right there. I'll also post it on our X feed, and you should follow us on X. Just put my name in. It'll also be on Biz TV YouTube channel. Check that out. So as you know, radio stations move, stop, change, you name it. It's been going on forever. We're in recognition of that. We have dealt with it forever. So again, GaryK.com. And if you'd like to email me, all you got to do is be nice. All you got to do is be nice. And yesterday I asked to help me out about if you're looking at a house and all of a sudden you walk in and there's air fresheners all over the place and it reeks of air freshener, do you think that's a red flag? Every person that emailed me said, it's not the greatest thing. And some people were definitive on red flags. And I can't argue the point. Especially when I said to the realtor, don't you smell that? I don't smell anything. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today was Fed Day. Do you know what Fed Day is? That's the Central Bank Movement Day. And I must tell you, I hate even talking about it, but what do we say about this show? Everything that affects you. And unfortunately, these Morlocks affect you. And by the way, if you don't know what a Morlock is, go look it up. I just like using the term. Jay Powell lowered interest rates today. He lowered the Fed funds rate. And let me read what he said. We don't cut mortgage rates, but our policies tend to affect mortgage rates. Lower borrowing rates will raise demand. Jay Powell lowered rates today on the short end, so your money market's going to pay you less. They lowered the Fed funds rate. Go look it up what it means. It just, they give you the definition. It's what banks charge each other and all that crap. And yeah, it does move some rates every now and then. But listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully, because you will definitively not get the straight tonight. We're going to give you the straight, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Powell lowered rates today. Your mortgage rates went up today. Interest rates went up today as Jay Powell lowered rates today. We did a tutorial for you yesterday on interest rates. We will not do that again today. But what happened today is Jay Powell lowered the Fed funds rate. The Fed funds rate. From 4.25 down to 4, but the 10-year yield went from 4.026 to 4.076. Huh? How does that happen? Well, we warned you. We said to you for weeks, there is a chance, maybe even a good chance. If Jay Powell lowers rates, interest rates are going to go higher. Huh? It's simple. Unfortunately, Jay Powell, who I would not let run a lemonade stand. And by the way, nothing personal. This is purely business. He should not be in his position. If it is deemed that Jay Powell is no longer doing what they're supposed to do, and guess what they are supposed to do first and foremost, and that is make sure inflation is in check, because inflation is the worst kind of tax on you, the consumer. If the markets believe Jay Powell is no longer addressing it, bondholders will sell, which will have interest rates go higher to accommodate for the fact that the man who is supposed to be on the lookout at all times is no longer looking out. And in case you don't know, and again, we say this with no joy, he does not know what he's doing. He has no clue what's in front of him. Every answer throughout the years was printing more money, which caused all the distortions. By the way, it started with Ben Bernanke in 2008. Now, the little interest rate move up today is not a biggie. But if it continues to move up, potentially could be a biggie. The markets were all over the freaking map today. Before the Fed, I think, was up 300, then was up 480, then was only up 20. We're talking the Dow. Then was back up 350. And then with like 1 second to go, the Dow was up 210. With 1 second to go. And closed up 260. Somehow got a 50-point bump at the close. It was up 260. Strength today in the Dow. American Express, Caterpillar with their 21% drop in earnings. Between the two, I'd say it's about 120 some odd Dow points. I will tell you this much. I will describe it for you. Both American Express and Caterpillar broke out to yearly highs today. Very nice looking breakouts today on those two Dow stocks. A big help today. Now, interesting enough, with the Dow up 260, and by the way, I want to repeat again how crazy it is, because he makes the move, he says things, and then he does a presser, and markets were moving all over the map. All over the map. And I can tell you this. At 255 today, the Dow hit 45,687. Am I right? Yeah, 323, 340. It was actually down 80 points after early in the day, the Dow was up 510. And then we rallied back up and then did what we did. But the S&P was down 6 and the NASDAQ down 72 and the NASDAQ 100 down 50. You know what another wild swing was? The Russell 2000, which benefits from lower rates and initially jammed to the upside, the Russell 2000, and then sold off. Why? Because higher rates hurts them small caps. And guess what happened? The higher rates at the end of the day. That's the story. The 10-year yield reversed, and reversed pretty damn strong, and that's the story. So interest rates went up as the Fed lowered their rates. We warned you about that, but I just want to make sure you know, it's as of this second, it's no biggie. But it is something to watch, and here's why. If the market believes the Fed is lost control, it's going to swoon. Jay Powell caused massive inflation with the money printing and 0% rates. He created massive distortions in housing with 3% mortgages. And just so you know, those 3% mortgage were because he took out to $9 trillion and bought up the bond market, lowering those mortgage rates, rigging the whole freaking bond market. and then lost control because inflation got out of control, and that's when all hell was breaking loose. Only when he stopped printing and then played catch up did things get a little bit better. So my message to all those that say, Jay Powell, including the president, that Jay Powell has to lower rates, be careful what you wish for. Up next, much more. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. I am very jealous of President Trump right now. He is at a state dinner at Windsor Castle in the United Kingdom. And in case you do not know, I love England. I love the whole United Kingdom. I love England. I love the British people. I love London. I love the golf courses all across. I played, let's see, Royal Liverpool, Royal Lytham, Royal St. George. What were the other ones I played? Sunningdale. I played all of them, and I just have a blast. And I can get up early in the morning in England and just walk for 12 straight hours. And that's what I do. I can spend a couple of hours in Harrods in the food emporium, and in the chocolate. They have this chocolate room, by the way, at Harrods. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. I'm trying to think the other golf courses I played at in England. Royal St. George. I'll figure it out. Royal Birkdale. There you go. Anyway, I'm jealous of the president because he's at this big state dinner at Windsor Castle. And Royal Lytham. Yeah, Royal Lytham was another one. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that's it. Those are the ones I played. I know there's one more. I'll have to think about it. Anyway, so the president is in the UK today. Second state dinner for President Trump. Good on him. Hope he does great things there. Get good deals. Anyway, had to bring that up. Back on point. Pay no attention to what anybody says right now. Just watch yields. Watch the 10-year, 5-year, 30-year. If they now go higher as the Fed is going lower, it may be indicative of something not so great. We are not predicting anything. We're just letting you know we've been wondering, why is gold doing what it's doing, an inflation marker? And I don't know if that should be ignored. And the good news is, yes, inflation is definitively down. But if inflation is still out there, could be of note. So I repeat, watch yields very closely here. If they sit, hang, maybe go up a little, maybe go down, fine. If they go up, we got something to watch. Strong day for the banks and other financials. A weak day for a lot of other areas. I got to tell you, transports were down pretty damn big. I will tell you that the housing stocks were up strong upon the Fed lowering rates. And then interest rates went higher, and housing stocks reversed. Not great. China, very strong. Between Baidu and Alibaba, both announced this AI something or other and went from comatose and just have gone vertical. And when I mean vertical, draw a vertical line, kids. That's what's going on there. Anything else stick out today that I wrote down? Well, you remember when I was telling you that a little bit worried about the travel stocks? Well, Marriott and Hilton broke down a little bit more today. Just let you know. That's of note. Cruise lines are okay today. The airlines are okay. But just let you know. Saw some economically sensitive stocks get squashed. Why would that happen if the Fed is lowering rates? Because rates went up today. The real rates. Remember, the Fed funds rates is one man's opinion with 11 other dolts that sit at a table. How many voting are there at the Fed? I don't know if it's 8 or 12, but they're all dolts. And again, nothing personal. But none of them know what the hell they're doing. You know how I know that? I've watched them. None of them know what the hell they're doing. And again, I take no joy. What else happened today? Uber. Anybody know about this Waymo? Because I really don't. But I guess Waymo announced something that hurts Uber. So Uber broke out yesterday and tucked its head in like a frightened turtle today. And you know what broke out today? Lyft. So I got to look that up tonight. Why Waymo is for Lyft and not Uber. Waymo. I'm never getting in one. I'm sorry. I can't do it. There is no way I'm just not getting in a self-driving car. And by the way, I know that they're pretty darn good. I can't argue the point. It's just me. I have a few things I will never do. I will never jump out of an airplane with a parachute. I'll never do that. I don't know how anybody can do that. No, really. I'm never going to do that. Why? Because I'll have to wonder at all times whether it was one of my ex-girlfriends from high school that put the parachute together. Or somebody I owed money in college. Actually, I paid everybody back. So I'm never doing that. I just don't have it in me. And I know I say that when George Bush, when he was 85 years old, went and jumped from an airplane. God bless him. I don't have the grapefruits. Anyway. But good day for the Dow. Broad market, not as great. And just wicked. I have no clue about tomorrow except to say, watch yields. If yields go up, I think we get a little pressure, especially with the markets had a good move already. But I'm still seeing some pretty darn good charts. That recent Tesla big breakout, man, that's strong as all heck. JP Morgan hit another new high today, so did Goldman Sachs. And you know what we tell you about the financials? All hell is not breaking loose if the financials are in good shape. How do we know this? We've studied every bull and bear market. Hey, up next, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, the history of Jay Powell. This is the one only Investor's Edge. So let me finish up why we loathe the central bank. So it is not the central bank that took us to $37 trillion of debt. And by the way, we're now on a fast track with our debt, just so you know. No longer are we going to go up $1 trillion a year. I think we're going to go up $2 to $3 trillion a year. But I blame them for their lack of oversight and verbiage. Lack of. You would think the head of the central bank at any point in time, arguably the most important financial man on earth, would get up in front of the House and say, what the hell all you doing over here? You're running up deficits, you're screwing the taxpayer. And by the way, it was Milton Friedman that says $1 of government spending is a tax. So not one central banker went up there and profusely took our government to task on the debt and deficits. Not only that, they enabled the debt and deficits with easy money. You see, President Trump wants easy money because he's running $2 trillion deficits. He did not tell the truth to you, the taxpayer. He said he was going to lower deficits again. He did not tell the truth. He said Doge was going to do this. He did not tell the truth. And they're going to be running 2. And I have news for you. If the economy really slows, we may run 3. That's number 1. Number 2, Ben Bernanke, who was very much a cause of the 2008 disaster that almost brought the house down. Why would he be a cause? Because he was too easy money, number 1. Number 2, for a whole year he was saying housing prices don't go down, we're not worried. Another dolt. And number 3, one of the jobs of the central bank is to oversee the financial companies and make sure they're doing the right thing. And we find out that these these banking companies were doing mortgage-backed securities with massive leverage. It was a guarantee to go bust. It was a guarantee, matter of time. And of course, he was also part of getting $800 billion of our tax dollars to save the asses of these crooks that were running these places that nobody got indicted. Nobody went to jail. In fact, they've all made billions since. That's the central bank. And then he started printing money, and you can go look at his quote about, but it's not going to be a lot, and it'll be very short term. And of course, $9 trillion later of conjured up money out of thin air, he lied. And of course, our next central banker with Janet Yellen, not only would I not let her run a lemonade stand, I wouldn't let her turn on a faucet. I can't believe some of the crap that's come out of her mouth. And she was running the central bank, and she was a Treasury Secretary. She told us inflation was transitory, and she also called for global taxes. Another Marxist. But she sure was taking $250,000 for each speech to talk to Goldman Sachs or somebody else. So, they lied about printing of money. And of course, fast forward to the inflation, and fast forward we're $37 trillion of debt, and $1.2 trillion went to interest this year. And not a single soul in D.C. gives a frig. Why? Because they know when it all blows up, they'll either be retired or dead. What do they care? And then both parties, just like they are doing right now, blaming each other. And who are the victims? You and I. How's the affordability for houses right now? Do you know why they're unaffordable? Jay Powell. What? Because you got a housing bubble because of 0% interest rates and printing to $9 trillion. But guess what's happening now? Fantasyland is going bye-bye. Inventory's picked up. Houses in Vegas are crumbling in price. Miami, dropping like a rock. I will tell you, I saw a few here in Orlando. I saw one that just went up for sale 6 weeks ago for $1.75. They dropped it $200,000 today. Do you know why? Fantasyland. You know how we got to Fantasyland? Jay Powell. How bad is it going to get? I don't know. I do not see it being an 2008 type scenario. And by the way, we predicted that back then, if you do recall. I don't see that scenario. But Fantasyland, as I have said to you, I see homes that are being offered right now at $3 million. that 3 years ago at 1.5. And I got news for you. Some of them have got lucky and got it. But I can tell you here in Central Florida, whoever bought in the last 6 months, they're going to pay the piper more than likely. That's all from Jay Powell. So I always ask, what the hell do we need these people for? What have they done to benefit us? What are they doing for the country? How is it helping you? And I can't come up with a single solitary answer to that question. I'm waiting for somebody to give me an answer. Fire them. Get rid of them. Shut them down. And just let the free markets work. You know what happened today? The free market, at least today, gave Jay Powell the middle finger. Oh, you're lowering rates? Well, rates are going up. I am rooting for rates to go down. I'm not rooting against them. I just loathe them. They're about as overrated as the New York Giants football. Well, he's not even overrated. He's that bad. I can't believe they kept the New York Giants coach for this year. Though I really appreciate the game they just played against Dallas, though they lost. And that's a little bit of a history of the central bank going to 2008. I never thought I'd say, boy, I wish for Alan Greenspan. By the way, Cracker Barrel missed numbers and is down 10% in the aftermarket. Actually, more than 10%. Ooh, they missed numbers pretty good. I may get a hold of the CEO. They have so many good things they can use as far as marketing, and they just don't. You know what they were going to do, and you know they backed off, but I don't see any of the good marketing. They got this front of the restaurant with rocking chairs. Wow. Family surrounding grandma, grandpa. That'd be great. They got these great stores with old candy that we used to love. And great smells. And you got this down-home comfort food that they serve. I see no marketing of that. Do you? Maybe I'm missing something. I see no marketing. I don't know what they're thinking over there. Anyway, the stock closed at $49.60. Ooh, it's $44.77 in the aftermarket. That ain't no hill for a climber. Downside guidance also. Ooh. Guides to FY26 comparable store traffic decline of 7%. Ew. Hey, up next. Whatever I can think of. Whatever. This is the one only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Haven't I made you feel better about the powerful people in this country? I say it all the time. I take no joy. And I take no joy on hitting this president on what he's been doing with the debt and deficits. Just another person that don't care. Does not care. Screw it. I'm gone in 3 years. Screw it. I'm going to spend like crazy. Let the rest worry about it. Bitcoin remains range bound. We continue to tell you to be careful of this micro strategy. We get asked about it all the time. What's wrong? Why isn't it keeping up? My answer is I don't know. But I'm not going to say the word, but I'm going to quote others. There are many out there that say this MicroStrategy is just a scheme. A scheme. Where they're borrowing to just keep buying more and more Bitcoin. And now it's underperforming the price of Bitcoin. We'll see. All I can tell you, it's in a bearish phase. What you do with it, don't know what to tell you. Next, getting a lot of emails on alcohol. No, not about drinking of alcohol, but what's going on with alcohol and alcohol stocks. Well, all I can tell you, again, is that I don't know whether it's the culture, the kids, whatever, just less and less alcohol is being consumed, and some of the worst stocks in the market are the alcohol stocks. And it's very much imperative that you recognize this and understand it, because I'm getting asked about, do you think they're of value? And I can tell you flat out, in the markets, a lot of things depend on the trend of how it's going. And just so you know, I've walked into some liquor stores and I've asked them, and just about everyone telling me sales are down. And I ask them, what is down the most? And you know what they're all telling me? Hard liquor. That's what I'm getting. Beer, still okay. Nothing bad. Weak, but okay. Wine, weaker, but okay. Hard liquor, not doing very well. So just letting you know. Just like, you know what I'm constantly asking about? The sports drinks. And some of these drinks that came out. You hear of this Prime. I believe Logan Paul, who's now a professional wrestler, selling very well. By the way, it tastes pretty good too. I'm always on the lookout, because you know what the strongest stock of the last 15, 20 years is? Monster. No, not kidding. Do you know that Monster beverage? You ready for this? It's at $66.52 right now. I gather it did a bunch of splits. It traded between a penny and 5 cents between 98 and 2003. The $66. By the way, with all the splits and stuff, from 03, it went from 6 cents to $4.21 to 06. Boy, that would have been nice. So I'm constantly asking on that because of what Monster Beverage did. And I must tell you, I think I've only owned the stock maybe once. So I want to make sure going forward that doesn't happen again. Because who knows what's going to go public next. And I want to be on it. So, just so you know, try to do like I do. I still remember when my sons were telling me about Pokemon. And I ignored 4Kids Entertainment. Skyrocketed. So I'm definitively doing things quite differently than in the past. Muy importante. You can see things. You can feel things. They're right in front of you. And when I give you the Kmart, remember, in real time, we were giving you the downfall of Kmart. We were giving you the downfall of Kmart in real time. Telling you what our experiences were. And Kmart turned to dust. We're doing the same thing with restaurants. Looking for the next big thing. Remember Kava? But I came on the show and said, I went to it. It was pretty good. but it feels like just Chipotle with different type of food, and I don't know if it's going to go mainstream. Kava's stock has been destroyed. By the way, the food's very good, I must say. So these are the things that you can do and stay on top of. Sometimes it's the touchy-feely that can work out very well. I still, again, that 4Kids Entertainment, I was like, I ain't buying this Pokemon crap. It's just a fad. Well, it was. I think it went up tenfold before it topped. Oh, well. All right, that all said, what's tomorrow? Thursday. I'm traveling tomorrow back up north tomorrow night, but I'll be here. You'll have a great evening. Drive carefully. And when you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise they will be well. Really appreciate you listening. Don't forget, GaryK.com. Good night, all. Bye-bye.